It's got a dull haze. I don't like that dull haze. Oh, that looks much better. Looks much better. Who wants a dull haze? Oh my gosh, little nugget of love, Augie, was eating a banana. I mean, he's always kind of eating a banana. And he puts after he eats it, he kind of gets all slimy and he paws up my pants. Last night I went out and played some trivia with some friends, and I had a black t-shirt on, and he had a banana, and then he started pawing me. I thought I wiped off his paw prints, but I did not successfully wipe off my little nugget of love, Slimy. I should call him Slimy. Since he's been born, he's been a hello, Sandy Shepherd. He's always been known as my little nugget of love. And that's a great nickname because that's what he is. He's warm and soft. Hello, RJ. He's warm and soft and sweet and crazy. But he's also slimy. And I think after what he did last night to my black t-shirt, as I've talked about, a black t-shirt can be thinning and can make a normally not very impressive man like myself look pretty good. And I wore it out. Went out to a oyster shack in Naperville for trivia night with some friends. Other than that, nothing really happened involving the banana and the shirt. There was no major incident. I think I might have even kept my coat on the whole time. But honestly, I probably kept my coat on because I was a little embarrassed of my banana-stained black t-shirt. I don't know. Have a little water. Hello, RJ. Good morning, Jack. Hello, Deontay, my long-lost child. My long-lost child, Deontay Young. Interesting, because my middle name is Young. My middle name is Young. I don't know how this young man or woman named Deontay could have adopted my middle name and be my child. I don't think the odds are high. Yeah, it is, actually. I'm loving the 8. You love the 8? You know who probably... Good morning, Shannon. You know who probably loves the 8 o'clock time more than anybody? Jack Taylor. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. Oh, so many of my regulars are tuning in. So happy. Woo! It's probably Jack Taylor. Because he's a young man, and he likes to sleep in. I don't know. Maybe he's a night owl. I think he's in video editing in some capacity, although he has never helped or even offered to help me edit any of my videos and make them wonderful. But I think he stays up kind of late. I know he's got quite a social life. Last time I spoke with him, I think he'd gone out on a second date with a young lady. And I never heard how that relationship was faring. But I'm kind of curious, Jack Taylor, if you'd like to share with the Coffee with Ken crowd how the woman you went out on, I believe, 2 dates with, how that relationship's going. Has it bloomed? Has it grown? Has it become a partnership? Good morning, Annette One Feather. I was to marry a man in May. Then I would have been a young... Need to know coffee. Good morning, Dennis. I'll get to the intro. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. This is a show I've been doing for 4.5 years. It's a show I have a lot of fun with. It's a show where I talk, and I now go live at 8 o'clock every morning. Although that's quite a commitment. That is more of a commitment than perhaps I want to make. This morning I woke up crazy early. I woke up at 3:50. I came down. I edited a couple videos. I laid there on the couch, and I'm going, crap, do I really want to talk today on a live camera in front of a huge audience of 77 people? And the answer was no, I did not at that moment want to. Fortunately, I did not have to, and I dozed off. I dozed off on my couch and slept for about 40 minutes or so. and woke up feeling a little better, feeling a little rejuvenated, feeling a little love, because I had babies crawling all over me, and then I had to run out the door and walk my dog Holly because she had to poop real bad. I told you about her pooping incident the other day. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know, oh, do you know, this is not just a show about me talking. This is, for those that have been watching a while, you know, it's much more than that. It's much more than that. It's also a show. And again, I think the visual effect, both the visual and audio effect of this is great TV. So I'm going to enjoy doing that while I can. For those that have been watching a while, you know. Hello, Mr. Moore, or Mr. or Mrs. Moore. T. Moore. Hey, don't cheers me yet. Don't cheers me yet. Lynn Seagirl is having a French press. I actually had a guy that I went to college with send me a French press, because, of course, I do a coffee show, so people get me coffee gifts. They get me Starbucks gift cards. They give me bags of coffee. One guy actually sent me a French press. I hope he's not too disappointed that I don't use it too often. Hello, Robert Montgomery. Cole World, thank you. I love my hair, too. I shaved it yesterday afternoon. So it's not quite... if I shave it in the morning, it's kind of long and stubbly the next day. And I shaved it yesterday late afternoon. And so it's still fairly clean. So I appreciate you loving my hair. Can I take a screenshot of my watch? It's the strangest thing. Anything going on in Naperville this week? We'll work on all those answers, because I know we have an audience of 63 people out there that are sitting there. They just poured their hot cup of coffee. They're not cheaters. They're not cheaters. My audience is very on the up and up and very ethical. They're sitting there waiting to have their first sip of coffee with me and with the rest of the audience. I don't know, I had something floating in my coffee. I'll just assume it was a piece of dust rather than a gnat or something. But anyway, my hope is wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh. Again, I struggled with guilt most of my life, and I struggled with anxiety and depression, and I feel bad. I feel like I'm cheating or fibbing or not being as genuine as I could be. I want to take off this sweatshirt, by the way. Will you guys mock my banana-stained black shirt? If you will, that's fine. Oh. Now I'm a little cold. I'm having a hard time getting just the right temperature, but sometimes that happens. I used to do the show actually taking my very first sip of coffee every morning. And I'll tell you what, and I would get mocked for it. And there were pages dedicated. You know you're really successful when there's mocking, and I'm not even really successful, but I'm saying that jokingly. When there's whole pages mocking you dedicated to your first sip of coffee in the morning. And oh yes, there's people out there that actually splice my videos and post videos of me taking my first sip of coffee in the morning. And they'd call it a coffee-gasm. Kudos to them. It's pretty funny. But I almost feel I'm letting them down just a wee bit, because I don't know, I've already had about a pot and a half of coffee. And although it's still good, because coffee's not just for breakfast anymore, it's good all day. It's not the same as that first sip. It's not the same as that first sip. Greg Pett made that video. Well, thank you, Greg. Thank you. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. I don't know if you intended it as flattery, but I still appreciate it. I'm fairly sure most of the videos that were created about me weren't done for flattery, but in some twisted way, I'll tell you what, I've talked about it before. I have been through some dark hours the last couple of years, and actually even longer than that. Actually, it was probably about 2 years ago, today-ish. I mean, it was happening, and it wasn't an overnight process, but where I was really struggling with a lot of stuff, and it led me on a path that brought me here. And but I was struggling with a bunch of stuff, and I had a lot of rough days, a lot of rough nights, a lot of rough moments. And the one thing that kept me going, kept me egging me on, kept me getting up there were several things. But one of the things that kept me going and kept me moving forward, besides prayer, besides gratitude, besides faith, besides hope, besides my kids or my family or my friends, were the trolls posting hateful things about me and coming on my videos and saying how horrible I was and saying bad things. And because every day I go, wow, these guys are gotta be a bunch of fools. These guys are a bunch of fools, even if they're right about what they say about me. To dedicate that much time into another human being is weird, especially for a negative purpose. So anyway, I figured if these people are saying this, they got to be wrong. I know they're wrong, so let's keep going. And that combined with a little prayer, because oftentimes I'd wake up in the morning going, oh, scared to get out of my cover, scared to get out of bed. What am I going to do? God, what should I do? Keep going, Ken. And again, so I kept going. Oh, we're talking about Shannon's birthday. I almost forgot. It was my Shannon's birthday. Yeah. What's the coffee? Did I not tell you, RJ? I appreciate that, Brian. You're right about that. The coffee is pumpkin spice, but what brought me in the story about all that crap I was just saying was the fact that on your second or third pot, it's really hard to distinguish the types of coffee you're drinking, especially when you're drinking the flavored coffee. And RJ, I'll tell you this, I'll be completely honest with you, as I was preparing and getting nervous and in makeup, and they were doing my hair, all my employees that I have to make me look so good and get me so ready for the show every day. I was thinking I could use a cup of Morning Joe. A cup of Morning Joe. A real, sorry, the maybe sexist expression. I don't know why it's sexist, but I'm going to say it. A manly cup of coffee. A cup of coffee, as they used to say, that would put hair on your chest. That would, a coffee that's got a lot of taste and punches you in the nose and says, hello, I'm coffee. Morning Joe's a solid cup of, coffee. Kenergy is having a white mocha. Now, I would probably guess, and I'm not familiar, I'm not sipping, a white mocha I wouldn't describe quite as macho as the Morning Joe coffee, but it's probably tasty. I'll grab you another bag. You have 75. You really have 75 bags of Morning Joe? Shirley, thank you so much for following the live. Dr. Phil should shave off the rest of his hair. Yes, he should, Shannon. There's a creator I follow, and I don't think he's on today. He follows me, and he watches a bunch of my videos. He'll hop on and share some of my lives from time to time. So I don't know if I want to use his name, but I haven't seen him on. But he's got like long hair, but he's balding, and I can say it because I'm bald. And I think it's probably very personal. I know when my hair was thinning, just the discussion of thinning hair was a really tough one. But I want to make a suggestion to him to shave his head. To shave his head. When God starts removing the hair and thinning it out, he's telling you a message. His message is very clear. And all of a sudden, you look awesome. You look aerodynamic. You look cutting edge. You look like a guy from Star Trek. When I first did this, it was a really bold, tough thing. There weren't a lot of white dudes out there with bald heads. And there was a couple guys, and I've talked about it before. Andre Agassi went short first, and there was a guy on Star Trek, I forget his name, and that kind of inspired me that it would be okay. But the public call out to a fellow creator who shares his live. Only Ken. It is only Ken. Just like the Ken from Barbie movie? I don't get it. I don't get it. Ken and Barbie did not shave his head. He kept his long flowing locks and his almost plastic-like physique. His almost plastic-like, physique. Oh, everlasting bloom, I wish you would have let them troll around for a little bit longer. Yeah. You should have let them troll around for a while. I was almost excited. I was excited. Yeah, I know they're still here, but they can't talk. I was hoping they had more to say. Let's have a little more coffee. He's the hot Sandy Shepherd. Trolls are fun. Kind of they are. They're kind of fun. I brought this... Is this a metaphor or an analogy? When you say a tree falls in the woods, does it... and nobody hears it, does it still make a sound? Does that... What is that? Is that a metaphor? Is that a saying? Is it an expression? Is it just a question? I think there's a term for it, and that's whatever the term is. I've been using that one a lot. If a troll is still watching, yet is muted, do they even exist? Are they still trolls? I don't know. Yeah, but everyone needs a little attention. I like to give them sometimes what they need. I moderate for others, and I've learned that some trolls cannot be blocked. They'll come back. Edward Dulé, we were skeptical about you for a while. We kept an eye on you. RJ, thank you so much for sharing the live. I was exhausted last night. You guys will probably feel sorry for me. Due to some overzealous fans, and I'm picturing overzealous fans. I like to picture myself as the Beatles coming off the plane in LaGuardia Airport in like 1963, and these young women going, ah! That's when I say overzealous fans, that is what I am picturing of my fans. And the two fans that I mean are RJ and Everlasting Bloom. Going crazy because they see me coming off the plane. But anyway, they encouraged me not only to go live at 8 o'clock, not only to follow up that live with a live on YouTube as soon as I was done, and I'd already talked for 45 minutes, but not only to go live at Starbucks, but not only to follow up my live at Starbucks with a live on YouTube, but to go live again at 4:30 in the afternoon. And by the end of the day, I was going, I just don't have a damn more thing to say. I just don't think I had anything more to say. And I was tired, emotionally, verbally, vocally, throat-wise, tired in many, many, many ways. And then there was the catastrophe when I tried to order the iced coffee. Oh yeah, I do my live at 4:30. I do a live. I think I do a live at 4:30. I hate to commit. I'm scared of commitment. I am frightened. Hey there, Finnegan. Thank you for sending me a finger something. Finger heart. Oh, that's the sweetest thing. RJ never promised me a rose garden. Plus the dog stuff. There's a lot I do. I'm a man of many commitments. And again, committing to 8 o'clock every morning is fun. Actually, it's fun because the 8 o'clock time works well for me and seems to work well for everybody else. But I'm hesitantly committing at 4:30 every day. Yesterday, and I talked about this yesterday afternoon, it was crushing to my ego. I went in all excited to order an iced coffee because they had a sign up that said $2 iced coffees all day. What I didn't read, and the fine print will get you more times than it won't, was the fine print that it said members. What does a member of Dunkin' Donuts mean? I've been shopping at Dunkin' Donuts for years and years. Little did I know you needed the app. So the gentleman behind the counter said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't do that special anymore." And I looked up, and it was kind of one of those computerized scrolling screens. And it went up again. I think it had the quarterback Justin Fields from the Bears, who's having a horrific go of it. Advertising their $2 medium iced coffees all day. But again, the fine print did say members only. And I'm going, huh. And he goes, if you want, I can. It's hard not to do in an accent, but I won't. He said, it's really hard not to do in an accent, but I won't. He goes, if you want, I can give you the senior discount. That was like a stab in the heart. That was a stab in the heart. And I think, I kind of thought when I got my AARP card in the mail, it was kind of cute. It, meant I was all grown up. Even though even when you're all grown up, I wonder if it's just me. I don't feel all grown up. I see all these kids. It's right by a big high school in downtown Naperville, and all these kids going around, riding bikes, walking around after school, running the cross-country team. I still feel like a kid at heart. And so he offered me the senior discount. What are you saying, sir? What is it exactly that you are saying to me? Is it 55? Is that when you get senior discounts? Shannon, you just turned 55 yesterday. How many senior discounts could you have cashed in on? How many senior discounts have you cashed? You probably charted out, Googled everything you could, and said, where gives discounts to 55-year-olds? I should have cruised down to Mississippi, and we could have drove around together getting free cups of coffee at every gas station around that appreciated we old folk. Well, Shannon, if you find any national chain that offers the discounts, please let me know. Lynn is a young lady of 50. 55 gets a ton. Everlasting Bloom is wondering why I said no to my senior discount. Because I'm youthful. I got carded. I smoked cigarettes about 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. I waited at Outback Steakhouse for a while. I've talked about this before. When you wait tables, it's easy to become a cigarette smoker because a lot of waiters, for whatever reason, smoke cigarettes. I don't know if they still do, but they did 10 years ago. And they'd go out and take smoke breaks, and I'd be jealous. I'd want to get out of the restaurant and go take a break. I'd bum a cigarette. I'd bum another. And anyway, I started buying a pack because I didn't want to keep bumming cigarettes all my life. One day I went in and to order a pack of cigarettes before work, and the woman behind the counter carded me. And while I know that some places legally can't sell alcohol, Target, where I used to work, can't sell alcohol without carding you. Weirdly, they can't even sell non-alcoholic alcohol without carding you, which I find strange. But the woman carded me for cigarettes. And apparently, probably, being that I was probably 45 at the time, which is 2.5 times the legal age, I'm sure she didn't think I was really 16. I had an old man helmet on. I put on a bald head and a wrinkled face. I don't think it's wrinkled. I think it's seasoned. It's a seasoned face. It's a wise face. Lynn gets offended if she's not carded. Sandy Shepard, I'm 64, will be 65. No, can't wait till Social Security. Leave me alone. It is terrible. Smash the likes, everybody. This is so fun. I've already talked for 25 minutes. Where does the time go? When we have such an intimate group that all knows each other, like we do. For some reason I'm picturing you guys all like when you sign off, or when I sign off my show, you guys all message each other and arrange little parties. Get together. You have little picnics, little sandwiches, those cute little sandwiches with the crust cut off in little triangles, tuna salad, and maybe egg salad sandwich. For some reason, I'm picturing on white bread. I wonder what you drink at your little picnics where Ken is not invited. Oh, I bet it is a hell of a group, Julie Flanagan. We can start doing that. Well, that's fun. That is fun. I bring people together. So one of your old vids about our first ex moving in. Do the three of you live together, same bed? Most often. Sometimes I just cuddle. With him. Hey, Shannon, thank you so much for joining today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I am naughty. I'm rarely nice. I am so rarely nice. And I'm most often very naughty. My coffee's getting a little tepid. Oh, it's nice. I mean, it's kind of nice. It's fairly nice. It's coffee. It's not as hot as it can be. And I'm going to take a little risk here. I'm just going to pour this hot coffee on top of that tepid coffee. And Lindsay's girl said, go check out my post from yesterday. Where is the line, RJ? I don't know where the line is. I don't know where the line is. I would say I had about this much coffee in the bottom of my cup, and there was still a little bit of warmth to it. If it had been sitting out, for a couple hours and had dust from the house growing in it, or maybe bugs from the sky falling in it, I probably would have thrown it away. Hey, Lynn, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Does Shannon and Kennergy know each other? They're fast friends. Susan Loves Science has joined. Susan Loves Science was very active about a week ago when she hopped on for the first time. I was so excited to have her. She's got a heart in her name. She had a lot to say, a lot to contribute. And then she disappeared. And she was gone. Hey, Susan, since you love science so much, I just want you to know, I don't know why I'm telling you. I think it's because I feel insecure, because my black t-shirt's got stains on it. But it's just banana. It's just banana. My little boy, Augie, eats a banana kind of messily. He does most things a little messily. His goal in life, and maybe it's that same goal of all toddlers, all little ones, is to knock things down. Good morning, TD. Everlasting Bloom is suggesting I could have changed my... Look at it. It's horrific. And it's on my pants, too. But Everlasting Bloom, in my home, laundry is a constant battle. And it's not only doing the laundry, it's putting it all away. And in my home, we got piles and piles and piles of laundry. And I hate to add to the problem. And as I've said, I'm frugal. And I'm not just frugal about money. I don't like wasting things. When one of the kids grabs a paper towel and, I don't know, decides they don't need it and wants to throw it away, that kind of drives me crazy. Because if I got an extra paper towel sitting around that would be headed to the garbage and hasn't been used for its God-given purpose. Goodbye, Julie Flanagan. Thank you so much for joining. You have a wonderful day. Hope you're fishing with your man named Steve, I believe. But if I have a paper towel that doesn't seem to have a purpose in life, I'll usually get a little water, a little soap on it, get on my hands and knees and scrub part of the kitchen floor. Scrub part of the kitchen floor. Because, and I've said it a lot, a little bit of cleaning is always better than no cleaning at all. And in life, if you see something, a mess, and, you don't have to clean the whole house, and this has been a struggle with me, and you don't have to clean the whole house, but you still can do a little bit, and a little bit matters too. And if you... I don't know. Every little bit helps, I guess, is what I'm saying when it comes to cleaning. And if there's something on the floor, you pick it up. If there's a garbage need taken out, you do it. If there's a plate in the sink, you put it in the dishwasher. Although, to be honest, I don't fully subscribe to that. I do not fully subscribe to that. I tend to put my plates in the sink and let them soak for a little while. I eat a lot of foods where the food can harden on the plate. I eat a lot of cheesy stuff. Melted cheese, and it'll stick to the plate. Sometimes I feel you might need to soak a plate a little while. Some people in my life totally disagree, and are really repulsed by the appearance of dishes in the sink. While it's true, I like a clean sink as much as the next guy, I'd rather have the dishes in the sink than piled up on the counter next to the sink. That's just me. Oh, and Everlasting Bloom sent 18 roses. What a sweetheart. Cynthia Lewis apparently has 3 dogs. Oh, the mess you're talking about, Cynthia? Yeah. Dogs just kind of guarantee your house is going to be a little bit messy. Everlasting Bloom says then you can't use the sink. That's why God gave us 2 sides to the sink, Everlasting Bloom. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Debbie. Not only did I top off my coffee on top of rather tepid coffee, but I let it sit for a couple minutes before I took a swig. So let me tell you, husbands are messy. Let me tell you, I've got this much full cup of coffee. It's not quite as hot as I want it to be. That's not quite as hot as I want it to be. What do you mean husbands are messy? What do you mean husbands are messy? Are husbands really messy? I'm not messy. There's no way I'm messy. I am a great asset to the house cleaning duties. I clean everywhere I go. I'm like a tornado of cleaning. I don't shine up every bit of stainless steel in the house. I don't polish things, but I sweep. I pick up. I'll clean the bathroom every chance I get. I'll go in with chemicals. I think the key, and I've talked about this before, the key to cleaning a bathroom, because obviously it's the grossest area of the house. Well, I won't deny that, Sandra Lynn. Sometimes it is hard to find things. The key to cleaning a bathroom, because again, yucky, is coming in with a lot of chemicals. And coming in with a hell of a lot of chemicals. And like maybe even a gas mask and spray, and maybe one of those suits. What are those suits called that people wore during COVID? Come in spraying chemicals in a cloud and masks and all sorts of things. And then you got to get in there. You got to get in there. You got to get in there and scrub a zoot suit. It's not a zoot suit, Robert Patrick. Is a St. Andrews picture up in the house? Greg, that's a very solid question. That's a very solid question. There's hardly room for me in the house, much less my pictures. Hazmat suit. Thank you, Everlasting Bloom. How much? Hold on here. Let me check this out. One thing, okay. Check this. I drew the line on that. I wasn't going to sit and choke down that coffee. And it would have been choking. It was a lot of coffee left, and it just wasn't hot enough. I'm not giving it to you, Greg Pitt. That coffee means a lot. Or that coffee. I won't even give you a cup of coffee. That's how frugal I am. No, but that picture means a ton to me, wherever it is. Watched a Seinfeld the other day where they were selling, what's it called? Like used clothes, but it's better than used. There's a word, and it's not antique. Hello, Becky. Is your name really Becky? Sorry, Becky. I don't mean to mock. Good morning, Captain Kenny. How are you? Becky's following the live creator. Vintage. Thank you, vintage. I knew there was a word for it. Hello, Kid Deb. I knew there was a word for it. But anyway, it was on, not consignment. I was looking for vintage. And there was an episode where Kramer had a deal worked out and was selling a lot, or buying a lot of vintage clothes at Rudy's. I think the name of the store was Rudy's. George heard about these vintage clothes and realized his dad had a ton of old clothes up in his attic. And George went up and took the boxes, sold them to Rudy, and it turned out, I don't know what my point is, it's not a great point, it turned out the boxes of vintage clothes had a bunch of moths in it, and almost put Rudy out of business. And I think my point was I was picturing moths eating my picture. Good morning, Debbie. Hello, Becky. You are a good man, a good public speaker, great voice, had a nice head to have a great day, my brother. Captain Kenny, you are the man. Your birthday's got to be coming up. Your birthday has to be coming up. You know whose birthday I know is coming up? And I hope we all are ready to celebrate. The lone pounding of a hammer across the way, I heard. Thunk, thunk, thunk. Almost melodic. I don't know if you guys can even hear it. But you know whose birthday's coming up? RJ's birthday's coming up. I think he's going to be 35. Maybe he said he already is 35. I don't think RJ's watching. RJ's usually much more talkative. And if he's watching, he's asking random questions like what I had for dinner or what have you. You was singing to you on November 1st. Oh, Captain Kenny, I'm going to be singing my heart out to you on November 1st. Fortunately, I don't know anybody else's birthday for November 1st, so I'll just be singing to you, Captain Kenny. I'll make sure of it. Oh, that's ironic. And that was my first birthday song last year, Captain Kenny. The first time I ever really did it. Was the first time I ever really did it. All right, that will be November 19th. I ran out of space. Oh, fortunately. Marisolo, well, you got to tune in October 1st. I do a lovely version of Happy Birthday. Oh, I do. I don't even know if it's lovely, but it's loud. And I think if you can't sing well, you might as well sing loud. And it's just beautiful. I put my heart and soul in it. I even oftentimes light a candle. So Marisolo, please follow my page. I don't know if you do or you do not. Noviembre 2. También. Is Becky a Latina? Is Becky a Latina? Okay, well, thank you, Marisolo. I was at trivia last night. And a question surprised us. And they gave a name of a woman, and I can't remember her name, but it was a Hispanic name. And they said, was the first Latina elected to this office? And it happened in 2016. And I honestly was very surprised at the answer. The woman's name doesn't matter. It matters to her and probably the people she loves. But for the point of this trivia question, I'm going to give it to you. The woman's name doesn't matter. Just know it was a Hispanic name. I think her middle name was Cortez. And in 2016 was elected as the first Latina ever to be elected for what office? Did I ever sing Happy Birthday to a Latina? Did I ever sing Happy Birthday to a Latina? I mean, I probably did. I probably sung Happy Birthday to Latinas. But let's get back. No, she didn't run. She wasn't the first ever elected to mayor. Panama? No. Becky's probably thinking like president of Panama. And we didn't know. It didn't say in this country or others. I was thinking like president of Spain. I thought secretary of Interior. Because I knew it wasn't a real high United States office, or at least I didn't think it was a really high United States office, because if it was president, I would have probably remembered the Latina being elected president. But it was senator. And that really surprised me. I'm surprised a Hispanic woman, I mean, with all the, I would have thought somewhere, somehow, some way, 100 years ago, we would have had a Hispanic woman win senator. I mean, there's a lot of them. Big Easy joined. Is Big Easy a golfer? Where'd Big Easy go? Oh, they don't, when they're just joining, they don't stick around. Sometimes I get confused because somebody will join and I'll expect their name to, then it'll disappear. And somebody named Big Easy, okay, while we're doing trivia. This wasn't at the show last night, but this will be golf trivia. What professional golfer is nicknamed the Big Easy? Da 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 da. And your final answer? I'll have one more sip of coffee. I'm going to give you another 10 seconds and I'll repeat the question one more time. What professional golfer is nicknamed the Big Easy? I'll give you a clue. He's now on the senior tour. You guys don't know. It's Ernie Els. Think he was a three-time, Big Easy, Ernie Els. He was a three-time major winner and pretty nice guy. Had a really soft, slow, easy swing, and that's why he was called the Big Easy. And good morning, Funny. That is right, Big Easy. Thank you, Kayla, for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Kathy Olen Carrojas. I wonder if Kathy Olin Carrojas knows the answer to my previous trivia question. Wow, this could be so easy if I just did trivia with Ken. Trivia with Tracy. I bet you everyone likes trivia. I like trivia, and everyone likes trivia, so I bet it would be pretty easy. To ask who if it's her birthday. The Latina? Oh. Everlasting Bloom is one of my... For those that were watching earlier, I have two really, 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 really rabid fans. Really, really, really rabid fans. And one of them is Everlasting Bloom, and the other is RJ, who has signed off and is doing whatever it is that RJ's doing on a Wednesday morning. And Everlasting Bloom is in... Didn't I say rabbit? I think I said rabbit. I tried to say rabbit. I didn't say rabbit. But either way. Wants me to go live on YouTube on after this show. Okay. And I'm going to wrap this up in the next 2 minutes. Hey there. I'm not... Hunty Nan Glau followed the live creator. I so appreciate that, and I hope you appreciate my effort to pronounce your name correctly. I'm betting that's a Vietnamese name. Good morning, Private ACC. I'll bet you that's a Vietnamese name. I have a sister-in-law that's Vietnamese, and it looks like a Vietnamese name. Yes, I'll be going live on YouTube after this. I'm going to be signing off in 2 minutes. And I'm going to talk real briefly on YouTube just for fun. And hey, Kayla, thank you so much for being you and being a part of the show and joining. Sydney's a nice name. Makes me think of Australia. But either way, I'm going to hop on YouTube. Private account. Okay, Sydney is private account. Sandy Shepard, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to be hopping on YouTube in a couple of minutes because I'm having fun over there and trying to grow that page. I'm about to hit 1,700 fans on YouTube. I'm going to hit it today. It's so funny. I watch these subscribers or the followers or the growth of my social media audience pretty closely. But the closer I watch, and let me tell you, it is true, a watch pot never boils. You know, I'm going to hit 1,700 fans on YouTube, but it's... After that, it's just 1701, 1705, 1715, and it just keeps going. And again, I talk a lot about goals before. No matter what goal you set, you want more, you want to strive higher, you want to climb a higher mountain. Must be tough as a mountain climber to scale Everest and look around and say, hey, I'm on the top of the world. I'm on the top of the world. What am I going to do now? I just climbed the highest peak. Life and living is not always about the numbers. Ooh, a German Shepherd's walking by. Life and living is not always about the numbers. No, it's not. But it's kind of fun to have something to aim to, Kayla. It's kind of fun to have something to aim to. And I'm going to be working out today. And I already know some of my goals for today's workout. And honestly, they come in numbers. And when I achieve the number, I set a new goal, and I set a higher goal or a longer duration or what have you. And it kind of feels good as something to shoot for and something to aim for as we cruise down our life. Oh, Private Sydney says she's getting her braces off. Congratulations, Sydney. I remember that being a huge day in my life. My daughters both got their braces off, and it was gone. They were gone. But I remember when my braces came off, it just felt so good. You know, you're running around like this. Hey, does anyone have any gum I want to chew? Anything chewy to eat? Any hard candy I can chomp into? Where's an ice cube? I want to bite into something I haven't been able to bite into for 18 months. I'm off tomorrow. Would you like to grab coffee? I do not know, Mr. Finnegan. Brian, you also known as Brian. I mean, I probably would grab coffee with you somewhere. Do I follow you? I'm going to make sure I do follow you. So I'm going to follow you back, Brian. And we can chat and perhaps work out a coffee grab somewhere. It's fun meeting people that watch my show. I met RJ for the first time week or so ago, and it's always a little, I mean, maybe it's nervous for them, but it's always a little nervous for me. It's like, what do they expect? What is it that they might expect from Coffee with Ken? But I don't know. I sit there, I drink my coffee, and we have the same conversation that we do here. Good morning, track days. But anyway, I've talked a little longer than I was planning. I am going to hop on YouTube, probably talk for just 5 or 10 minutes over there. Going to talk for 5 or 10 minutes over there, and not totally sure what's happening. Don't know if I like what's happening, but sometimes I don't even know if I like this what's happening, but I appreciate something happened. A door opened, and I got some more coffee poured in my cup. But anyway, I so appreciate you guys for watching. We have a nice audience today. We got 40 people watching. That always feels pretty good. I hope you guys, if you're new, that you follow my page, you enjoy my content, you enjoy my videos, you enjoy my lives. I go live every morning here on TikTok at 8 o'clock. I have a lot of fun doing it. And I'm going to hop on over to YouTube. If you're not following me there, please look me up on Coffee with Ken on YouTube. And again, somebody might be the lucky 1700th subscriber. Do you know what you win for being the 1700th subscriber? Not a thing. But you still might be. And I might give you some kudos. I might give you a shout out online on YouTube. But anyway, I'm going to hop on there, talk for 5 or 10 minutes just because. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for sharing part of your Wednesday with me and sharing a cup of coffee with me and sharing some conversation with me. And if you want to follow me over at YouTube, I'd appreciate it. But I do appreciate you for watching. I hope you had a wonderful night's sleep. I hope your week's going great. I hope you're loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.